Ben Shephard has long been one of the most trusted and comforting figures on British television, a presenter whose calm voice carried viewers through breaking news, laughter-filled mornings, and the unpredictable chaos that comes with live broadcasting. To many, he wasn't just a host. He was the gentle presence who made early mornings feel a little less heavy, a little less lonely, and a lot more human. So when whispers began to spread about a heartfelt goodbye involving Ben, people didn't just take notice, they felt it deeply. This wasn't the type of exit drenched in scandal or wrapped in drama. Instead, it was something much more powerful, a goodbye rooted in gratitude, in nostalgia, in the quiet ache of closing a chapter that shaped not just a career, but a life. Ben's journey through morning television has always felt like a shared experience with his audience. For years, he helped families start their day, guided viewers through difficult moments, and created memories without ever stepping into their homes physically. There was a sincerity in the way he spoke, the way he listened, and even the way he laughed, never forced, always genuine. Colleagues often described him as the heartbeat of the studio, the person who remembered birthdays, encouraged others before tough interviews, and cracked jokes at just the right moment to break the tension. Even on the most exhausting mornings, Ben would show up with the same unwavering kindness, lifting everyone around him. That is why this goodbye has struck such an emotional chord. For millions, it feels personal. Those who were present during Ben's farewell say the atmosphere was thick with emotion long before a single speech began. People tried to keep things light. After all, Ben loved a good laugh. But behind the smiles sat a weight that no amount of humor could hide, a weight that only comes when something truly meaningful ends. When Ben finally addressed the room, those watching struggled to keep their composure. He thanked his colleagues, the crew, the producers, and every person who had walked beside him throughout the years. But it wasn't the words themselves that moved the room. It was the sincerity behind them. Ben spoke with a tone only someone who truly cared could use, a tone that said, "Thank you for changing my life." For a moment he paused, just long enough to show that even he was fighting back emotion. He admitted that every chapter, no matter how beautiful, eventually turns its final page. And although he was proud of everything he had accomplished, he knew it was time to step back, breathe, and allow life to take him somewhere new. What makes this farewell so heartbreaking is that Ben isn't just leaving a role. He is stepping away from a rhythm that shaped his days, years, and identity. The early morning routines, the camaraderie, the jokes whispered seconds before going live, the adrenaline of unpredictable broadcasts. These weren't just tasks. They were memories he built alongside people who had become part of his world. Fans across the country felt the shift immediately. Social media overflowed with messages, some nostalgic, some lighthearted, some emotional. Many admitted they shed tears, especially those who relied on Ben's presence to steady them through difficult mornings of their own. People shared stories of watching him during hospital stays, lonely breakfast hours, and chaotic school runs. Ben had unknowingly become a companion during their most vulnerable moments. And that is the kind of goodbye that stings the most, the kind that reminds you a familiar presence is stepping away, even if their impact will always linger. Behind the scenes, Ben's colleagues struggled just as much. Some described him as the glue that held the team together, steady, encouraging, and endlessly generous. Others admitted that the studio simply wouldn't feel the same without him. There was no resentment, no conflict, no tension, just a deep, resounding gratitude mixed with the ache of change. Those close to Ben say this goodbye has been quietly emotional for him as well. Letting go of something that shaped your identity isn't simple. It's not like flipping a switch. It's like gently placing a treasured chapter back on the shelf, knowing you'll never experience it in quite the same way again. Ben, always humble, reportedly expressed that while he is looking forward to new opportunities and slower mornings, the transition hasn't been easy. He is grateful, profoundly grateful, but gratitude doesn't erase the weight of farewell. Yet even in sadness, there is a spark of excitement, a sense that this is not an ending, but a transformation. Friends say Ben is ready for a new chapter filled with balance, creativity, and maybe a bit more sleep. He is excited to explore different sides of himself, projects he never had time for, passions he quietly set aside, and moments with loved ones that morning television often demanded he miss. Fans share that excitement too. They know Ben isn't disappearing. He is simply turning the page, carrying all the love and support with him. Still, the heartbreak remains, because some goodbyes don't arrive dramatically. They arrive gently, quietly, wrapped in years of shared memories, meaningful moments, and the soft realization that something special has come to an end. The beauty of Ben's farewell lies not in the sadness, but in the connection it revealed. It showed how much he meant to viewers, colleagues, and communities across the country. It reminded people that the best goodbyes don't happen with spotlights or fireworks. They happen in whispered thank yous, exchanged smiles, and the knowledge that someone touched your life in a way that words can never fully capture. And for every viewer who welcomed Ben Shephard into their mornings, this goodbye will always feel deeply, deeply personal. But despite the tears, despite the ache, one truth remains. This is not the end of Ben Shephard's story. It is simply the beginning of something new, something brighter, something written with the same kindness, humor, and heart that made him beloved in the first place. The cameras may dim, the studio may quiet, but the impact remains. Ben Shephard's next chapter awaits, and the world will be watching, cheering, and supporting him every step of the way.